So obscenity has a precise legal definition, but it gets used in vague ways. Where things get dangerous is when people who should know better confuse the issue. When obscenity is used improperly by people in power, especially prosecutors or legislators, the damage can be significant. It's one thing for lay people to use the term loosely in conversation. It's a little more worrisome when activists use the term for rhetorical impact while glossing the clearly defined legal implications of their words. And it's clearly a problem when the word is used by legislators, law enforcement, and others in positions of government authority. That's because their words can lead to costly investigations, potentially punitive legal action, and harassment of librarians, booksellers, and educators. We have numerous examples of these things happening across the country at tremendous cost, not only financially, but in damaged communities, ruined lives, and corrupted civic discourse. Obscenity charges, and the threat of them, have a broad, chilling effect, and often people who are simply exercising their First Amendment rights or protecting the freedom to read bear the social and financial burdens of defending themselves. So throwing the term around too loosely has real-world impacts, making our communities less free and less welcoming. Making things a bit more complicated, the Supreme Court left the door open to defining obscenity more broadly for minors than they do for adults. That's one big reason obscenity controversies often happen in the context of schools and libraries. For instance, my home state of South Carolina requires obscenity be defined differently for some people than for others. At the root of this is who decides what is age appropriate, a question best left to those who know a child best, but which is often weaponized against disfavored content in general. These kinds of provisions have opened the door enough for some people to exploit a potential danger to children to justify broader suppression affecting older adolescents and even adults, such as moving books out of general circulation at libraries, taking titles off sales floors at bookstores, and limiting promotion or access in other ways. But even going back to the Miller test, we find enough wiggle room that unscrupulous actors can exploit to chill speech. That's because the threat of prosecution, job loss, and funding cuts can still have the practical effect of suppressing the books in question. This all means the dangers of throwing around the word obscenity are very real.